Hey guys, Joe Tracy here. Now, marching band season is quickly approaching, and a lot of shows and a lot of bands recently have been incorporating sound effects into their production. The band I'm currently working with, we have a show that uses a lot of sound effects this year. If you've ever seen Tarpon Springs Paranormal Show, then you'll recognize the show that we're using this year. So one of the ways that we incorporate our sound effects was to use a keyboard, and so every time you hit a key on the keyboard, a sound effect would play. So I thought I'd do a quick demonstration here just to show you guys how exactly we do that, and hopefully it can give you some insight in case you're thinking about adding sound effects to your marching band show. It's a really simple solution. So basically what you would need out on the field is either a laptop. We're using a MacBook, one of the school-provided MacBooks here. It's got GarageBand on it, and then what we do is we bought one of these M Audio Key Studio keyboards. I bought mine at Best Buy it was under $100, I believe, so it's not that expensive. It's just a MIDI keyboard. You could use any keyboard interface that hooks up to your computer via USB cable. And then what we do in GarageBand is we assign each of the keys on the keyboard to a specific sound effect. So this video will kind of go into detail exactly how to set that GarageBand file up and how to use it to your advantage on the field with sound effects. Okay, so now the first thing you're going to want to do is to create a folder somewhere on either your desktop or somewhere else to have all of your master sound effect files to be housed. So I have a file on my desktop called NHS 2012. That's our band name, Haunted. That's the name of our show. And then within that folder, I have another folder called Master FX Files. So now this is where each and every single one of my individual sound effect files are. And I put a number in front of each of them just so I know chronologically where they end up. So they're all there. Then what I do is I make a playlist in iTunes, and I'll explain that in a second why I do this. So I go through in the chronological order. This is another place where it helps to have them ordered here. That way we just know the order that they'll go in on the keyboard. So there's my playlist in iTunes for all the sound effects. Then what you do is you open up GarageBand, and you're going to create a new file, and you can save that. I always put it in the same folder where my master sound effects are, just so it's easier for me to know where everything is. Okay, and this brings up your GarageBand interface. Now, don't exit out of that keyboard. It's going to come in handy in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this track here for the grand piano, just because we're not going to need it. Take the metronome click off. Now what we're going to do is connect our keyboard to the computer here. Once you have your keyboard and you plug in your USB cable, it's going to let you know that the number of devices here has changed like this. The number of MIDI inputs have changed. Just hit OK. That means our keyboard is connected. It's just letting us know that. Now we're going to create a new track here. First I'm going to show you which one you don't want to use. Do not use the blue. Because what's going to happen is if you're going to hit create, you'll have the option to add a sound effect to that track, but for whatever reason it's not connected to the MIDI controllers. So these are just individual sound effects that don't help us at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that track. Track delete. Okay, then we're going to add a software instrument track, which is going to be the green one. So hit the green. Yay! Yeah, and then it says it's playable using USB, MIDI, or on-screen keyboard. So that's all set for you. Then you're going to click the folder down here called Sound Effects, and you can use either of these. I always just use Nature Sounds. I don't know. I like Nature Sounds. And then we have our keyboard here. Now click the second tab on the keyboard, and that's going to give you access to the full keyboard. Now you can click on each and every one of these keys here, and they're assigned to a different key on the keyboard. If you hit details, it tells you what actual audio file is attached to there. Now if for some reason you accidentally delete or get rid of that keyboard, you can just go to Window, on-screen typing, and it's right there for you. Okay, so now here it is again. That's our audio, musical typing, nature sound. So you can click on each of these, and every one you click on, you can see exactly what file plays when you click on them. So, and then you can drag this little blue bar up at the top here to scroll, because my keyboard has about 48 keys on it, I think. So, and the screen here only shows not that many. So you can use that blue thing to tab back and forth. Okay, and down at the bottom right here, if you click this button here, this is where all of your GarageBand loops are. The middle one carries information about the actual file, and this third thing here is what connects you to an iTunes playlist. So this is where why I made the playlist earlier, just so it's all right here. It recognizes your iTunes library. It recognizes all the different playlists you've made. So if you go back to iTunes here, you see I have a Master FX and then an Untitled playlist, and over here I have the Master FX and the Untitled playlist again. And then underneath there is all the different audio files that we have linked up. Those are all the sound effects that we're going to assign to a spot on the keyboard. So to do that, it's actually very simple. What you do is when I click the letter C, when I click the C key on my keyboard, it hits that A. So what I do is I assign the first sound effect to the letter A on the keyboard here. Now, for whatever reason, it's not the letter A on the keyboard. It's really this note name is C, but on a typing keyboard, it's the letter A. So it's kind of confusing because we have 3 different keyboards we're dealing with here. So basically what we're doing is we're just assigning each of these individual sound effects to a key on the keyboard. And then when I hit down the C, it comes out and plays the first one. When I hit D, it plays the second one. When I hit E, it plays the third one. And it's really cool in a way because you don't have to hit pause and play on your iPod and make sure that you're at the next track and worry about the iPod freezing on you or whatnot. So that's all set up here. Then what I always do is I save it and then I quit and then I open it back up because that way I know that it's saved it. So again, to bring the window back up, you click Window at the top, Musical Typing. There you go. And they're all still there. And when you click down the key that the sound effect is assigned to, it's going to show that little playing screen next to it in the details screen, just so you know that when you hit that key, that's what's actually playing. And one of the beautiful things too is when you open back up GarageBand, you don't even have to reassign anything, or you don't have to do anything. You literally open the GarageBand file and you're good to go. So once you get out on the field, let's say, you have 5 minutes till your performance, you open up your keyboard or your computer, you turn it on, you open the GarageBand file, and as long as that keyboard's connected, that's all you have to do, because in the previous session of GarageBand, we assigned those tracks to the actual keys on the keyboard. So there's no need to redo that. When you quit GarageBand, it'll save it for you. So all you have to do is open GarageBand and you're ready to go as long as that keyboard's connected to the computer and you have the output attached to either amplifier or speakers, then that's all you have to do for your sound effects. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and go through the first movement of the show that we're doing this year, which is Tarpon Springs Paranormal Show. We're calling it Haunted. So I'm going to go through the first movement with you guys and show you how it works. Okay, so here is my setup here. I apologize for the shakiness. I'm using my iPad and I don't think it has a stabilizer in here. So here's my MIDI keyboard. Now it's just a basic M-Audio key rig setup here. What I did was, I know that the first 12 are in the opener of the first song here. So on the actual keyboard itself, I made little notes just so I know which keyboard key is assigned to which track here. And then all it is just a USB cable. It plugs into the back here. Let me pull it up. It just plugs in there, and then you just connect it to the USB port on your actual keyboard, on your actual computer, excuse me. And so let's go through exactly how I do this. So let's pretend I just powered up my computer. Here it is. We're going to open up GarageBand. Assigned to. So this is one that I created earlier. It's not the one that we did in the presentation here. So now there's nothing else I need to do because, as I mentioned, all you have to do is open up your GarageBand file and you're ready to go. My keyboard is connected. So what's going to happen is when I hit each one of these keys, let me take the headphones out. Alright, so every time I hit one of these keys,
get out. Go away. Leave this place. Go away. Leave this place now.
So those are the 12 sound effects that are in the opener of our show this year, and it's really cool because all you have to do is hit those keys and the sound effect plays instantly. Now, what I do too, which is not really a necessity, but I take my score and I mark up on the actual win score where exactly the keys are going to be. So, I mean, I just write down here, like, this is the part in the opener where they go, leave this place now.
Leave this place now.
Just so I know exactly, whoever the player is that's going to be using it, that's exactly where they would hit that key. So that's why that's set up like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play the opener for you with the actual sound effects. Let's see here. Sorry for the shakiness. I didn't plan this video beforehand, as I'm sure you can tell right now. That's not what you want. Okay, so this is the sound file without any sound effects. Alright, now let's play that again, the first few seconds here, using our keyboard.
Something isn't right.
Get out. Go away. Leave this place. Leave. You're not welcome here. Leave. Leave. Get out. Go away. Leave this place now.
So in a nutshell, I mean, it's really simple to do. It's kind of like adding an extra person to your front ensemble section, and you're good to go. All right, well, hopefully you guys learned something from this video today. If you're ever interested in incorporating sound effects to your marching band show out on the field, it's definitely a great resource here to have that keyboard and GarageBand linked up. It's so easy to use. If you guys have any questions about it, or you want to know more exactly some other alternatives maybe to incorporate sound effects to your show, definitely send me an email. I'm always available to you guys. I have that email in the video description here. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, send me an email, and talk to you soon.